today I'm going to talk to you about William Henry Harrison. He was the 9th president of the United States, and he was the president with the shortest term of any president ever. He served for 30 days before he died. So yeah, growing up, he grew up in a very wealthy family, a very aristocratic family. You can see his mansion right there. And he became a soldier and distinguished himself until eventually, around the age of 30, he became the governor of Illinois. Now, Illinois at the time was just a territory. It wasn't even a state yet. And when he got there, he's like, I don't want to be governor of a territory. This is ridiculous. I want to be governor of a state, so I need more land. And the next slide is my personal interpretation of what it might have been like when he first arrived in Indiana as a governor. So let's take a look. Any second now.
So yeah, word on the street is a new governor's gonna come in today. I'm your new governor, and Dr. William Henry Harrison. Do you love your country? Yeah, I love it. First order of business. We need more.
He kind of got cut off there, but what he said was, we need more land. And so he had to fight for it with the Native Americans. He fought at the Battle of Tippecanoe and earned himself a nickname of Old Tippecanoe. Very clever nickname. From there he went on to fight a few more battles, and eventually he started, he resigned and started going around spreading freedom. He ended up in Colombia. They did not appreciate him there at all, so he left. He went back to the U.S. He's getting pretty old at this time, and he's wandering the streets of the U.S. He didn't know what to do, so he's walking around. He's like, what should I do now? And he turns and he sees a picture, and he sees the White House, and he says, I'm going to live there. I'm going to do it. And so that's what he does. He becomes the Whig Party candidate against the Democrats for the next election. Now, the Democrats, they try to slander him. They say, this guy, this William Henry Harrison, would be happy just sitting around all day in log cabins drinking hard cider. Now, for some reason, William Henry Harrison loves this and decides to make his whole campaign about sitting in log cabins and drinking hard cider. He literally bases his entire campaign on this. And there's even like a newspaper called Log Cabin, which he produced himself, and I'm pretty sure it was about making hard cider. And there's one of the copies. So he talks about no issues and only talks about log cabins. And people love this. They're like, this guy's awesome. He likes sitting in log cabins. I like sitting in log cabins. And so he starts taking this one step further and portraying his opponent, Van Buren, as this elitist dude who sits around with his fancy champagne glass and his fancy sideburns, and and the people can't relate to this at all. They're like, I don't want this guy to be president. This guy's way too elitist. Which is funny because William Henry Harrison himself was very elitist. He had never actually been in a log cabin. He didn't drink. He grew up very wealthy. So anyway, the people love this. They voted him in. They said, I like that this guy pretends to be the type of guy I want to be president. And so he has to give his inaugural speech, and he's really old at this time. He wants to prove he's still young, and he doesn't wear a jacket for his speech. That's how he proves it. And this clip is him deciding not to wear a jacket to his inaugural speech.
Mr. President, you should wear this jacket. I'm not going to wear this jacket. Yeah, people need to know I'm not some frail old dude. In fact, you go out there and you get the longest speech this country has ever seen.
He goes out and gives a 2-hour speech. He's 68 years old, which is like 200 years old in that time. So imagine a 200-year-old dude, no jacket, it's snowing and raining, and he's giving this long, boring speech. And, so he actually becomes really sick. So when he gets back from giving a speech, he's feeling not well, and he wants to pretend that he's still feeling well, so he orders everyone to open the windows, to pretend he's not cold. And this is what it might have been like when he got back from giving his speech.
Oh my God, sir, you look horrible. I told you should have worn a coat, or at least a hat, maybe. Mittens. I'm fine. Really. Better than fine. Open the window. It's freezing. And turn on the air conditioning. I said turn it on.
pneumonia and getting really sick. So he calls in some doctors. He's like, I'm really sick, guys. I really need help. Heal me. And these are 19th century doctors, so they literally know nothing. They're like, what do we do? This guy's really sick. So they start throwing leeches on him and feeding him. They literally just fed him snake poison, I think. So there's this really sick dude. They're feeding him snake poison. Anyway, next clip is what the doctors might have been thinking at the time. Their diagnosis of William Henry. So,
well, it's tough. You really have no idea what is wrong with you at all. There's no clue. It's the 19th century, and I'm a doctor, so I literally know nothing. We could give him leeches, maybe. Sure, it works.
So yeah, he dies. Basically, the doctors kill him, is what happens. And the presidency goes to his vice president, who everyone hates. He was a horrible president. He made America miserable for the next, whatever years, 4 years. And so yeah, that was his entire presidency, 30 days of being sick, basically. So yeah, that is William Henry Harrison's life. Not a great president. Didn't really get a chance to be. But American icon, nonetheless.